Our next client took the discipleship program. Hers is a story of transformation, from feelings of fear and shame to finding peace and joy through relationship with God. Kim, will you please come? Okay. I'm trying to gain my composure from Melissa's testimony. That was very powerful. My name's Kim, and God hates sin but loves the sinner. I had a very difficult time believing that when I came to the Miami Valley Women's Center. I had just ended a toxic relationship with my newborn son's father. I felt alone and terrified of what the future may hold. I was struggling with depression and finding a new place to live and going through a custody battle. My world was very dark. I had often considered suicide only because I was so tired of hurting and feeling like a failure. And to add to my fear, I just found out I was pregnant again. At that point, I considered the options of abortion and adoption because I knew there was no way I could handle 2 children on my own. I felt shame and I felt guilt. Very few people knew about my pregnancy. Then one night, I received a call from a woman from church. She had never called me before, and I hadn't spoken or seen to her in probably a year. She told me that Jesus told her to pray for me and to reach out to me. She wasn't sure what was going on, but she wanted to tell me that Jesus loves me, and so did she. This out-of-the-blue phone call came right after I had looked up abortion clinics in the area. I began to cry, and I told her how scared I was, terrified of bringing another child into this world and raising it on my own. Her response was, "Honey, you are never alone. Jesus is always with you, even when you feel deserted by everyone else." I started to reach out to people at church, and I found out about the Miami Valley Women's Center. From the very first time that I walked in with my 2 sons, everyone was so welcoming and so caring. They didn't treat me like the failure I felt I was. And for the first time in my life, I understood that it was important and very necessary to have boundaries. I slowly started to see myself through God's eyes. I am his favorite. He loves me just as much as I love my children. They could never do anything that would make me turn my back on them. And that's how much Jesus loves me. I have had so many blessings pour into my life over the past several months, and I am so grateful that I didn't give up. I was able to buy a beautiful home for myself and my children. A wonderful volunteer adopted my family at Christmas, and they gave us such nice gifts, even for my unborn baby. There are other opportunities for me to return to the Miami Valley Women's Center. They have a growing mom's Bible study that I plan on attending. I want to give back to the Miami Valley Women's Center by donating clothing, and I hope to adopt a family at Christmas. I no longer struggle with depression or loneliness because I truly believe that Jesus is always with me. Even when I felt like he had abandoned me or I didn't deserve his love, he will always be there as my comforter and my protector. I have found peace, faith, happiness, and joy in him. That is why it was only fitting that I named my little girl Allison Joy, because she brings me so much joy. And now my future looks so bright, and I can't wait to watch my 3 precious gifts from God grow up. And I would just like to thank all of the staff at the Miami Valley Women's Center, as well as all of you wonderful sponsors that have generously given time and donations. Thank you.